everybody. Today we've got Bobby Dollar from Bobby Dollar Appliances from up in Thomasville on board. You're probably familiar with us. We're McManus Kitchen and Bath. We're a design build remodeling company here in Tallahassee. Bobby's based up in Thomasville. Bobby, you want to tell people a little bit about the history of your company and what you guys do?
Sure. This is we're celebrating our 37th year. I think it was noted 38, but it's actually our 37th year. I started my business when I was 28 years old as a GE dealership and have now grown to be the regional showroom for Sub-Zero Wolf. And I continue to support GE because I've been with them now for 45 years of my life because I worked in the appliance business before opening my own store. And
Okay.
we're kind of a niche store. We do things that other people don't do normally. As far as installations, helping y'all on cabinet installations or going out and modifying stuff, that type of thing, we do that.
Mm-hmm.
But we became the regional showroom for Sub-Zero Wolf in 2017, October 2017, and that's a big part of our business. And then we carry the other major lines like Thermador and Bosch and those items that and GE, those brands that are very popular. And I made a great decision 10 years ago. I went from 22 brands down to 5.
Yeah.
So, keeping it simple, and our business has grown by almost 45% just since that 10-year period. So
nice.
We're very happy and good. And thank you for having me today.
Yeah, of course, man. Now, are you from Thomasville? Have you always lived in Thomasville?
I'm from Thomas County. I'm from a little small town called Meigs, M-E-I-G-S, up near Pelham, Georgia.
Yeah. So, okay, I know Pelham. I'm not sure I know Meigs, but
you don't want to know Meigs now. It's not the city. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're a local boy, and you said, did I get that straight? You started your first appliance store when you were 28?
Yep.
Wow.
28 years. Yep. I was the youngest GE dealer in the United States at the time when they set me up.
Was that in Thomasville?
It was in Thomasville. It was about 2 blocks down from where it was Bobby Dollar Appliance and TV then, because there was televisions in the GE line at the time. So we just changed the name, kept the corporation the same.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Did you keep anything from like any old appliances? Do you have any from your first year?
Like an old tube?
I have some old stuff, but most of it, or if I got it in, I threw it away because it's kind of rusted up. But
yeah,
I still have an old Maytag washing machine that's with the roller pins on the top that you run your clothes through.
Okay,
that's cool.
Got one of those, and
that's got to be a collector's item.
It is, and I got a lot of photos and pictures and stuff of when we first started.
Cool. Yeah, your new showroom is fantastic.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. But we got some pictures of that coming up. Well, all right, I'm going to share my screen here and get to our presentation. Make sure I'm sharing the right screen. So for everybody watching, here's some little information about Bobby Dollar. You can go to bobbydollar.com, and your website's pretty good too. You got all your appliances up there, and you quite a bit of information from that. Today, obviously, we're talking about appliances because we've got the appliance expert on the line with us. Just what the different options are, why you might want to choose a $500 dishwasher versus a $2,000 dishwasher, et cetera, et cetera. We'll go over a few different brands, styles. We'll talk about how to choose appliances according to the way you're going to use them, the way you're going to cook. And then we'll cover washer, dryers, and specialty appliances, things like under cabinet fridges and ice makers and built-in coffee makers and stuff like that. So brands, Bobby, obviously we're going to focus on the brands you carry because that's what you know best. You deal in a lot of different brands, but like you said, you made a decision to focus on a few, mostly GE, which also includes GE Profile, Cafe, and Monogram, Thermador, and Wolf. Would you say those are your go-tos? Those are your main brands you focus on?
Yeah, they are. The Bosch company purchased Thermador about 10 years ago, so it's known as Bosch Thermador.
Oh, I did not know that. Huh.
Yep, and then Sub-Zero company got into the Wolf cooking business about 20 years ago and developed the Wolf line. And now they have a Cove Dishwasher, which is an outstanding dishwasher. But the lines that we carry is pretty simple, but it's also pretty broad. When you're dealing with someone as big as the GE company, GE Appliance Company is, they have a lot to offer.
Yeah.
And when you narrow down from 22 brands down to 5 brands, you still have, just GE alone has 4,500 appliances. If you count the colors and the mixes and stuff. So they have an awesome amount of stuff. So it's not that we have a few pieces, we have a lot of stuff.
Right.
And it's just meant a lot to us to focus and do a better job on knowing those brands. We also have a new showroom area where we have that GE company just put in, as well as Thermador and Bosch. We have new displays, and your crew came up and saw those items. We take a lot of pride in what we do, and we never want to be a box store. We don't want to try to compete with them, which we do every day. They don't like us very much because our prices are usually lower. But one of the things that I don't think we've ever discussed is I'm a member of the largest buying group in the nation. It's called Brand Source. Okay. We cater to appliances, but we also cater to the furniture industry and the electronics industry. We have 4,500 members in our buying group, and we do in the excess of 45 to 50 billion dollars in purchases. So when you're buying with that kind of power, collectively together, we get really good prices from the manufacturers because we mean a lot to them. And
right, it's not just one store; it's a whole bunch of stores.
It's a whole bunch, and they would rather do business with an independent than they would a box store any day.
Yeah, and we also belong to a buying group for kitchen and bath for what we do. So I'm very familiar with that. And it's great because you get a lot of buying power, you get a lot of education, and it allows you to get some better pricing and compete. I mean, we recommend you guys all the time. We use you pretty much exclusively for appliances unless a client insists on going somewhere else. I've always found the prices very competitive. I mean, we've never, blinked twice about that. So, and then you get on top of what you don't get from a big box store is the service you guys provide with the scheduling of installs, and you hold appliances for us and bring them to the site when we need them, help getting them into the home. We've had your installers are great. We've had them, out the door, driving down the road, and we discover a small issue and they just turn right back around, take care of it, drive back out. The service you get is worth, everything. So that's really why we like working with you guys. So GE, like you said, tons of options. So tell me if I get this wrong, but so GE appliances, that's sort of their budget sort of line. Then Profile is a step up. Cafe is a step up from that. And then Monogram is their top line, more of a Sub-Zero Wolf price category. Is that a good way of describing it?
You got it right. Yeah, okay. That's exactly right.
All right. And here's the GE Cafe Profile. We do a lot of Profile with you guys. Customers seem to really like it. Do a lot of Cafe too. The Cafe's got some really nice options.
The Cafe line has actually been the growth of GE Appliances over the last 5 or 6 years. They have a lot of innovation. The GE company they probably in the last 3 or 4 years have spent more on research development collectively together than all the other brands in the U.S. put together. I think it's probably in excess of $200 million they put into research and development. And it used to be when they were under the GE Corporation umbrella, they were a copycat company. If something came out, they would just kind of copy it and put their own little twist to it. But now the Hire Corporation, which is the owner of General Electric, they have a goal of being the #1 appliance company in the U.S. by, I think it's 2023. And they're putting, like I said, $200 to $300 million into research and development. They're coming up with all kind of new cooking equipment. really, really innovative refrigeration products that save you money. They're just doing a really good job, and it's kind of been unique to see how Cafe has blended into a mini GE Monogram company, or not company, but line, because they have a lot of the Cafe stuff is stuff you can roll in and out of a hole like a refrigerator, but now they brought in some big refrigerators, the built-ins.
Okay.
And where Monogram had a 30, 36, and 48 inch pro range, they brought a 36 and a 48 inch pro range into their lineup also. So now you can buy a 48 inch range and pair it up with a 36 inch roll in and out refrigerator. It costs $3,000. You don't have to spend $10,000 on a refrigerator.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of things going on within the company.
Oh yeah, that's great. I don't know how popular these ever were, but I found a couple years ago, I found GE back in the 60s had there was a wall hung refrigerator. Do you remember that at all?
No, wall hung refrigerator.
Like kind of like a wall cabinet. It was literally a wall hung refrigerator, a small one, but it was just sort of like a separate fridge for smaller stuff. I always thought that was a clever idea.
I don't remember that, but maybe I need to look into that.
Yeah, it was just all I saw were like sketches, but apparently I thought I understood they sold them at one time, but I just always loved that idea. Refrigeration to me is one of those things that, like, refrigerators these days are huge.
Yes.
And I feel like the way kitchens are changing and people are using them in so many different ways, like breaking up the refrigeration starts to make a lot of sense. Like obviously we have the under cabinet fridges for beverage. People have separate freezers, but I even feel like in a walk-in pantry, there can be a small fridge and then a smaller fridge in the main kitchen. We talk to a lot of clients who feel like, and even as a designer, your fridge is your least favorite appliance because they're massive. And it's always a challenge to what do you do with the fridge to make it look built in or to make it kind of work with everything. Would you say that's right, Brianna?
Yeah, I think so. Depending on how it looks. I mean, if you are able to get like the nice built-in panel look, then that's definitely easier to work with. But the bulky ones that if you can't do like counter depth and
so I was just curious
to work with.
If you'd seen that, but I'm wondering if we're going to see some more refrigerator options out there to break up that storage a little bit.
Well, you're seeing a lot of counter depth is kind of catching on more.
For sure.
But people, they still want capacity.
Right. They want to be able to hold a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And that they want a Sub-Zero, but they can't budget a Sub-Zero.
Right.
Sub-Zero is 28 cubic feet, and it's $11,000 to $12,000.
Yeah.
And you can buy a GE Cafe full depth refrigerator. It's also 28 cubic foot, and it's $37.99.
Right. Big difference.
Then if you go to a counter depth, you're down to 22 cubic foot with no dispenser, 23 cubic foot without a dispenser, and it's $24.99.
Yeah.
So
it's just I'm a big fan of the counter depths, but you do lose a little storage capacity.
Yeah. I think it's nice if you can have that, or if you have like all fridge, all freezer, or you have a separate beverage fridge, then like counter depth is the way to go.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of kitchens today where the main kitchen has nothing but a refrigerator unit in it. We do a lot of that with the Sub-Zero and a lot of that with the Thermador stuff that they put nothing but a 36 inch built-in refrigerator. Instead of doing the twins, they put the freezer in the pantry.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of cases today, getting off subject, but we have a lot of cases today where we're selling a steam oven instead of a microwave, and they're putting a microwave in the pantry. So the pantry's getting loaded up with stuff that it has not been before. It's kind of like a mini kitchen.
Yeah, it's like a prep kitchen almost.
Prep, that's the word I was trying to think was prep kitchen.
Yeah.
And I've got one job going on right now in Tifton where they've got another wall oven in the pantry.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
So everybody has their own little twist.
Yeah.
We did a design webinar a few weeks ago where we talked about that exact trend, where kitchens are really becoming a place to hang out and they need to be sort of pretty and clean all the time. And so these large pantries / prep kitchens are developing where a lot of the mess happens. And then the kitchen is, sort of a different experience. But yeah, it's a good way to do it if you got the room.
Some people who like love to entertain and have, events at their house, they'll have like a whole separate catering kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's got all that, the oven in it and extra fridge. And so you can cook a lot for entertaining.
Well, and appliances are becoming more and more like jewelry. Like you can see just from these pictures. The colors are getting really cool. You can change all the handles and stuff like that. They're getting really, really pretty. So the cafe it's a go-to for us. I think it's just a great price point, tons of options. I love the cafe series. We don't do a lot of Monogram, but tell us a little bit about the GE Monogram series.
That line's been out for probably 25 years, and at one point you didn't know what Monogram was. Now they don't say GE Monogram. If you go to look it up on the website, it's monogram.com. They registered that. It's a little bit less expensive than Sub-Zero Wolf because it doesn't have the features, but it does have a lot of quality to it.
Gotcha.
And it's available. They now have the columns in their refrigeration line, which they have not had up till last year when they developed those.
Okay.
That's becoming a bigger part of the industry. And if you notice in that
That's the real
picture,
small.
Yeah.
that's a column there on the left of the range, and that's a single column. So this particular kitchen probably has just a refrigerator column there because there's no freezer.
It looks like there's a second one over here to the
right.
right.
Yeah, way over there. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Just hidden over by the.
They're splitting them up. So you got the freezer there on the left, the refrigerator on the right, and that's a 48-inch range in the middle. But Monogram offers one unique thing they've done, and it's Monogram and both Thermador do a 1-2 free program. So you buy the refrigerator, you buy the range product, and that range product can be split up. It could be a cooktop, range top, and an oven.
Okay.
So as long as you got an oven product and a cooking surface, and you're buying a refrigerator, you get the hood and a dishwasher at no charge.
Wow.
And Thermador has it as 1-2 free. What Monogram does is they give you a $3,000 credit. Because you may want in Monogram, you may want a beverage center that costs $2,000. Mm-hmm. They give you $1,500 credit. You just pay $500 for a $2,000 unit. And they've actually opened that up to a microwave drawer, a drop-down door microwave, beverage center, ice maker. You can have your choices where Thermador just gives you a hood and a dishwasher. That's all they'll talk about. But Monogram, they have a great location in Louisville, Kentucky at Appliance Park, Kentucky. That's where all the GE appliances just about are built this day and time.
Okay.
And it's the Monogram Experience Center. So if anyone's going up towards the Kentucky area and interested in appliance, they might want to make an appointment there to go to Appliance Park and go to the Monogram Experience Center.
Okay. We might have to put that on our agenda, Brianna.
Yeah, that sounds
could be
fun.
Yep. Okay, cool. That's good to know. So if you need a whole suite of appliances, you could get a pretty good deal by going with a Monogram.
You get a really good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna probably take somebody in the $20,000 to $25,000 package.
Gotcha.
Instead of the $30,000 to $40,000 package you'll find with some competitive brands.
Okay. And what's an appliance package in a cafe gonna cost?
The average probably at a cafe is anywhere from $9,500 to $12,000.
That makes sense. And then you could, in the GE or Profile, you could probably get by with $5,000 or $8,000.
Yeah, I think we just stay with Profile. You're probably going to stay around $7,000.
Yeah.
You can stay in the fives, and what you're going to find with Cafe and Cafe and Profile is that the difference between a regular GE product is it can get footballed around price-wise, feature-wise, and stuff like that. But when you get with Cafe and Profile, the factory realizes the values of those brands, and they offer rebates through the manufacturer themselves. So you may have the price may be a little bit more, but when you look at your packages, like yesterday, Kai sold a package of cafe, and there was an $800 rebate with
Right.
those four pieces. So a lot of times the rebate off of the cafe or profile, it may be a $200 difference than just buying the cheaper GE stuff.
Yeah. So you get a much better appliance for just a couple $100 more ultimately.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So while we're talking about pricing, and we're about to dive into, well, let's talk about Sub-Zero Wolf, and let's talk about why you might want to spend $20,000 on a range instead of $3,500. But tell us a little about Sub-Zero Wolf, and then we'll do a little talk about comparing them and why you want to pick one or the other.
Well, they're a very unique company, and they have been a blessing to us to partner with. They are the only family-owned appliance company in the United States.
Okay.
The Bakke family owns Sub-Zero Wolf. It's like a third generation, with more Mr. Bakke's coming.
Okay.
That's what we're seeing, the growth. It started out as a Sub-Zero refrigeration company, and Mr. Bakke, the original owner, had a son that was really ill, and he had to have some medicine back in the early days where there wasn't a lot of refrigeration. And to kind of save his son and keep the medicine at the right temperature, he developed a refrigeration unit. And that's how Sub-Zero refrigeration got started. And then back about 17, 18 years ago, they went to Wolf Commercial, which is the largest commercial range product used in restaurants. And he went to the Wolf Company, and they kind of co-patented some features that are used on Wolf ranges. And then what they have to offer is just a totally different world of production. Their refrigeration units are the best that I've ever seen. They're not built cheap. They're built out of metal, not plastic and styrofoam like some of the competitive pieces are. They get within 1 degree of true setting. So if you set it on 38 degrees, it's going to be 38 or whatever, with just 1 degree difference. They have features that they've, like the purification system they've got for fruits and vegetables in their refrigerator. What it does, it removes ethylene gas out of the refrigerator.
Okay.
And no one else does that.
So everything lasts longer. Yeah.
It makes the fruits and vegetables last longer. And they got that actually from NASA. They have a big ethylene gas reducer on the space shuttle. And that's where Mr. Bakke got this idea of, why don't we bring that into our refrigeration, because, you know, the space shuttle can't fly down to Publix every night and get vegetables and fly back up. So for that reason, they keep the fruits and vegetables longer, and you can save about $700. This is one of the biggest keys for buying Sub-Zero. If you buy Sub-Zero, it costs you a little bit more. But every year that you own a Sub-Zero, you're saving over $700 in food loss.
All right.
So if you look at saving that $700 every year,
It adds up.
It adds up. In 10 years, it got you back $7,000 in food loss. And they were the ones that developed this built-in type product. So all these built-in towers and columns and stuff that you see was part of the designers of Sub-Zero Wolf that came up with that built-in product. And then the Wolf range line, they have range tops, cooktops, single wall ovens, double wall ovens, steam convection ovens, drop door microwaves, microwave drawers, little combi sets, which are 15-inch burner units that you can have a teppanyaki griddle. You can have 2-burner gas, 2-burner electric. You can have a halogen, not a halogen, but an induction cooktop. Most people don't know what halogen is. I'll tell you how old I am. And but some of the features that they offer you, when you buy the product, it's totally different. A Wolf oven, it cooks totally different than other brands. The end result is a perfectly cooked product, but the way that it gets perfectly cooked and the way that it operates is totally different than other brands. Like if you buy a standard brand ABC, and they have a convection oven, that convection fan usually does not exceed 1,400 watts of power. When you buy a Wolf oven in their ranges as well as their wall ovens, it's almost 4,000 watts of power.
Oh, wow.
So you're looking at 14 against 4,000.
Yeah.
Also, when you're cooking in a Wolf oven, it doesn't cross-contaminate flavors, and Wolf spends the money on that technology and developing. You can put 5 different casseroles in a Wolf oven, or 6 different casseroles, and one of them be a dessert. You can have a corn casserole. You can have potato casserole, squash casserole. You can have a blueberry crunch dessert, and you can put them all in there together, and they all come out tasting like they're supposed to.
Interesting.
Yeah, I remember you told us about how you put the cookies and the fish in the oven, and the cookies didn't taste like fish.
We do that. We put fish in there. We put garlic in there, and cooked rows of cookies. And one thing
is that just the airflow that allows that to happen? What?
It's the airflow. They have. I relate it to the automobile industry, where you have a catalytic converter in a vehicle that kind of removes the sulfur smell given off the engines and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people it's like a baby catalytic converter in the back of it. It just breathes.
Okay.
A normal convection oven is going to blow air out and around. What it does is Sub-Zero sucks that air in, cleans that air, and introduces it back to the oven again.
That makes a lot of sense. I gotcha.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they get not only, I mean, the technology behind it is super interesting, and obviously it needs to cook better, but just opening and closing the doors on these things and moving the knobs and dials. Like, I remember opening up some Sub-Zero ranges you've got in there, Wolf ranges you've got in the showroom. It feels like you're opening a bank vault almost.
They're like tank doors.
They're solid and heavy and smooth opening, and you kind of can feel it.
You got if you buy a dual fuel range, you get they got hydraulic hinges on the doors, so that's why they're very smooth and they come down easily. The gas ranges are just standard hinges.
I got you.
So they build a lot of stuff, and one thing I admire them with, because you don't find this anywhere in the industry, majority of everything that they build, it goes down the assembly line. They test it before they put it in a box. So they
turn it on and cook.
They turn up. They got little channels where the gas ranges go down. They spin off like a little spider. It has 5 different directions. A range goes down each one of them. They hook them up. They test them. They make sure everything's right before they put them in the box. Sub-Zeros in their factory, I've been there a number of times. They have a little train track that the refrigerators are sitting on these little carts on wheels, and they roll them into these areas, and they run them for 3 or 4 days and test them and make sure everything works right. And because it's kind of very unique that when it gets to the very end, those things are cold. The freezer's been freezing, the moisture's in the refrigerator. They put this big bag over this refrigerator unit, and it's a vacuum, and it sucks out all the moisture that's inside the refrigerator. So with all the moisture out of it, then they can run it down the assembly line, tape it up, put it in the box, and it doesn't sweat or anything after it's been tested. They've got a lot going for what they do as far as the industry standards.
Yeah, that's something I think obviously applies to appliances, but even from our end of things, the cabinetry, what's hard to see is that quality control does cost money, obviously. And that's what adds expense. But it's hard to see that when you're just looking at the appliance. But companies who commit to that fit, form, and finish, and testing every product before it goes out, so it's right and reliable. I think that's a lot of value behind all higher end brands, but obviously Sub-Zero, Wolf too. So okay, I think that gives people some idea why you might want to pay quite a bit more money for something. Tell me about warranties. How long can you expect, say, a Sub-Zero fridge to last versus, say like a GE profile fridge or something?
Well, most of the GE profile and the Cafe, as well as all other brands, not just anything to do with GE, but the standard brand product is designed on a 10-year lifespan.
Okay.
Some are going to last 12 to 15 if they're taking very good care of them. But 10 to 12 years is about the lifespan of most of them. Sub-Zero has one goal. Everything they build has a 25-year lifespan. They build it with that technology in it. They put the parts in it that's going to last that long. Even their refrigeration comes with a 12-year compressor warranty to begin with. You're normally going to have a 2-year warranty on most products. right now, if you buy a Sub-Zero range product and buy the refrigerator, you have an option of, number one, they'll give you $1,000 rebate back because you bought those two products together.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give you $1,000 back. You can also, as you know, in the kitchen, that's not the only two pieces in the kitchen. So if you buy a Cove dishwasher, the Cove dishwasher comes out of the box with a 5-year warranty, parts and labor. It's the best warranty in the appliance industry for a dishwasher. And then the customer may want a warming drawer, microwave drawer, range hood, anything they buy outside of that refrigerator in that range. If they elect not to take the $1,000, which we have had only one person take the $1,000, they warranty everything that you buy that Sub-Zero Wolf up to 6 years. So you're going from 2 years to 6 years for that $1,000 investment.
And that's parts and labor.
That's parts and labor. And I went ahead months ago and did a research. We supply warranties through our store that's handled by a New Leaf warranty company. And I put a Wolf range that was $10,000, which is their average range. I put the Sub-Zero refrigerator, which is an average range of $10,000 to $11,000. I put those two together, and the warranty cost for 5 years was going to exceed $2,200. And for $1,000, they're going to cover everything for 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
So that's a great value. And
so arguably,
2 years. Go ahead.
So arguably, you would buy two sort of regular refrigerators in the time span you would own one Wolf Sub-Zero, if you want.
Yeah, or you probably own 2.5 to 3 refrigerators before you would change out your Sub-Zero.
Yeah, and 2.5.
I had someone recently in Tallahassee, well known, that we changed out their Sub-Zero refrigerator. It's 45 years old.
Wow. That's good.
45 years. She had her handyman make shelves for the inside of the refrigerator because she couldn't buy shelves anymore.
Oh my God.
She went out and got plastic buckets and stuff. And when we opened the door, there was all kind of containers in there stacked up to hold things.
Right.
It's almost like a milk carton stack.
That's right.
But 45 years old, and we took it out, and it was actually, no joke, it was still running and cooling.
That's awesome.
She just got tired of the gasket being cracked, and she couldn't get another gasket in the little.
Yeah, after a while, you start to run out of. They don't make the parts anymore, just like with parts or anything else.
It's amazing.
Yeah. All right, and then you've been mentioning the Cove dishwasher a couple of times, which I'm a big fan of. It's a little pricey, but it's not crazy pricey. It's about you say it's about a $2,200 dishwasher. But tell us what makes this dishwasher so special.
One is the engineering and the technology. I'll be probably low in saying they've probably spent $20 to $30 million developing this dishwasher. It wasn't born overnight. It was over a 10-year investment from the Bakke family into a dishwasher. I know for a fact they have tested probably thousands of these dishwashers in the Wisconsin area, as well as some of the main cities, where they just gave the people a dishwasher to test them.
Okay.
And anytime they find something that they didn't like or wrong or had a suggestion, the Bakke family would invest back in that feature again. And the dishwasher racks are heavier. In other words, they're beefier. I use that word beefier. The rods are heavier than you'll find on other brand dishwashers. They're more sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
They have a very unique operating system on the tines. At the very bottom of this picture, where you see the little green spots, those are thumbnail spots on the. Go up one more time to the rack. Right there.
Tabs. Yeah.
Those 4 places, as well as up above. You actually can take your finger or a thumb and press on them and move the tines up and down. It moves the whole tray.
Oh, the tines. Oh, yeah, gotcha. All right.
The little tines are the things that stick up on it. Excuse me, that's the name of the parts that stick up on the dishwasher.
You're talking to a man who doesn't actually own a dishwasher in his own home, so I love the technology behind the Cove, but I have very little experience with dishwashers.
We will be there tomorrow morning on our normal Thursday delivery.
Yeah,
that's right.
But
about to change your life.
Yeah. Do you own a washing machine?
I do. I'm going to talk to you pretty soon about a new washer dryer.
Well, let's get back to the Cove. One thing that they do, they put metal wash arms in their dishwashers versus plastic, because plastic, when it gets hot, starts kind of warping during the wash cycle. That gives a true wash. They have two models. One model is a water softener model, which in our area, Georgia and Florida, we have hard water. And that hard water, that calcium deposits can build up. And if you have water softener salt, you can put it in this dishwasher. And over a 30, 45-day period, your stuff comes out remarkably sparkly. It does not have any kind of runs in it from the calcium deposits, the hard water deposits,
Nice.
real clean. They have uniquely designed a third rack, which started out years ago with the Miele Corporation, and that patent ran out. But all the dishwashers now have a third rack, which is that top piece that you see.
That
And that's where you put that's where you put your silverware, and you can put any of your spatulas and stuff will fit in there. It's designed that when it's pulled all the way out, you can take the tray of silverware and go over to your silverware drawer in your home and empty it over into it.
Okay. Like carrying tray.
Yes, they have a light on the inside of the dishwasher,
Nice.
so you can see on the inside of the dishwasher. It also has the best control panel I've ever seen. They put a lot of money into the control panel. It's a soft touch control. It's lit up. It has an LED light that lights up every word on the top door. This thing is remarkably quiet. You won't hear it run. The only way you know it's on, it's got a little red light that shines on the floor to let you know that it's running, where you want to open it up and get wet. And a lot of the stuff in Cove that went into it is the technology part that you never see. And that's the same way it is with all manufactured products in the appliance business. You don't see what's in the inside, the back part of it. And just something as simple as the toe kick on the bottom is not screwed on like every other dishwasher. It's held on with magnets.
Oh,
So
nice.
the technician goes to service it. He just reaches it and grabs it, and it pops off in his hand.
Yeah.
And snaps it back on. And then they've pre-wired it. They have pre-plumbed it with the water lines, the drain line, the inlet line, the cord is all installed on the dishwasher.
Nice.
And one thing that they brought over from the refrigeration division is at the bottom of the dishwasher on the left and right side, you'll find some screws, and you turn those and it lets the back of the unit come up and down. So you can have a perfectly installed dishwasher where it's squared up. You got front level legs on it. The back legs, like I said, you turn the little screw and it lets it up and down.
That's nice.
It comes without a door panel because we have a lot of wooden panels installed in the cabinet industry today.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something that we would deliver the dishwasher, and y'all would put the panel on, or if we had the panel at the job site at the time, we would install the panel.
You know, I like that look. The panel look's probably my favorite when it comes to dishwashers. We've always had a small concern with, dishwashers produce a lot of heat, a lot of steam, and a lot of wood cabinets don't like heat and steam. I imagine this dishwasher, you've got less of a concern with that.
Yeah, the way it's sealed, you really don't have that kind of problem. Plus, there's a vapor panel that comes with the dishwasher that you mount up above the door, and it takes that vapor. But you got to kind of go back years and years ago when you had Formica tops.
Yeah.
And you cut the wood, but you got that exposed particle board top under that Formica.
Mm-hmm.
And you open the door of the dishwasher, and soon that moisture gets into that wood. Well, today, you as a cabinet company may put a strip across the top, or you may not, depending on the model of the dishwasher. And then what's above the unit is nothing but a piece of stone. It could be a Cambria, it could be a piece of granite. There's nothing to attach to it. So when that steam comes up now, it doesn't hurt anything because it's hitting that stone. And then you would install the dishwasher from the side rather than from the top. So that things have changed because of the way the cabinet industry has changed.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then doesn't this dishwasher have anti-leak properties?
Yes. If that dishwasher leaks at all, it's that way on the Cove as well as some of my Bosch dishwashers and my GE dishwashers. If it starts a leak, has a float system in it, the door automatically shuts the dishwasher down, shuts the water valve off, and it'll beep and it'll do a fault code to let you know that it's leaking.
Yeah, that to me is worth it. That feature alone is worth its weight in gold.
Saves a lot of floors.
Yeah, I bet we get a dozen calls a year from people flooded homes from things like dishwashers. Sometimes it's a toilet, but I think that device should almost be required on dishwashers. So, all right, great. Well, Cove Dishwasher. Here's a little picture of your showroom. Now, this is the cooking demonstration area, kind of, right?
Yes, that's our live kitchen in the background. We have pretty much a product of everything that Sub-Zero has that we can demonstrate. Chef George Loudon from the Sub-Zero Wolf showroom in Atlanta comes and cooks for us usually 5 times a year. With the COVID virus issue going on now, that has been canceled. We're expecting it to maybe start back in September. We usually have 14 to 20 families here during these events, and we prepare a meal for them, show them how everything works. It is only for customers that want Sub-Zero Wolf, and we feed them very well.
Yeah, I attended one that you hosted for the Builders Association a couple years ago. It's a fun event.
Yes, we've been involved that with the TBA for, I think I've done 5 different events for them here at the store. They enjoy it. We feed them good.
I tell you,
they like it.
It's a popular one. When that's coming up, a lot of buzz starts going around about going up to the showroom.
I'm planning it for October if everything works out. But
let's hope it does. Yeah. Okay, so that's the basic brands that are available. A little bit of the differences between the brands. I mean, I can't stress enough that we're really kind of touching the surface of things here. The best thing to do, obviously, is go up and see Bobby, and you can do the deep dive on pros and cons of some of these appliances. But let's talk about styles and finishes. We talked a little bit about panels, but we kind of touched on it. Appliances now are just becoming, really pretty and really focal points of kitchens. It's not just the white, stove, the classic white stove, white fridge, no frills. Now you can swap out all these handles and dials and things like that. You see that mostly in the cafe and higher lines, or are you starting to see that in some of the other lines?
Well, the cafe is kind of unique that you've got 4 different selections of handles. The cafe product, what you're seeing there on the left, is the bronze color that they have on the white. That's standard on white. You're going to get that color, and you have to buy the handles, different colors, and they get a little pricey. They're $700 or $800 a set for handles and knobs. So, but in the market research they did, the bronze was the selected color from their focus group. So that's what they're doing on the white. What you're seeing in the picture is actually matte white. In the center is matte black, and then the standard stainless steel. And you can change the handles out to copper if you want to, or change them out to a black handle. Brass is coming back. I don't know what you're seeing in your market, but brass is coming back. And even like on Sub-Zero, we have brass bezels that we replace the stainless bezels and put the brass bezels on to give that look almost like the cafe is on the left. And GE is, they made it hard on the dealers in that they offered the most colors of any appliance company in the industry.
Okay.
So you have stainless, you have black stainless, you have matte black, you have black slate, you have regular white, matte white, matte black, and then you have standard slate. So you have black slate and standard slate. Slate's almost like a little chocolate top cover, which is huge in sales.
I like that slate color, quite a bit. Matte blacks would be my go-to too, I think.
The matte black has taken off like a rocket ship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super popular.
Yeah.
Black stainless, when it came in, you had a feud between manufacturers on what they wanted it to look like. So if you look at 2 or 3 different brands, the black stainless does not match. And especially Bosch nothing matches Bosch's black stainless. It's an exclusive look. It's almost like a sandpapered stainless black look.
Yeah.
If you get up close to it, it looks like you've taken something and just scratched it, but it's really pretty. I mean, that's saying it scratched it is a negative, but one thing that I learned a long time ago, and I don't know how it works in your world, but most of the color changes that we see in the design world comes from the automotive industry.
Okay.
The designers today are looking at what's happening with cars, what's happening with the colors of cars. And if you watch the changing in the automobile industry, you'll watch the changing in homes and colors and different things like that, because we're seeing all these grays come out now in cabinetry and walls. And if you go back a little while back, you'll see gray cars, kind of matte gray and different colors in automobile industry. And that's kind of brought into my world, people trying to match these things up. And it's made it a little difficult, but stainless steel is probably 75 to 80% of sales.
Yeah, it's still your go-to.
Slate,
yeah,
slate is going to be the number 2 color in my store, and matte black is going to be probably the number 3. Yeah. And white is almost like 1% today.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of white either. Very rare. It looks dated, unfortunately. Like a white appliance still looks dated, even if it's brand new.
Yeah.
Although,
one cafe one.
Yeah.
Looks really nice.
Yeah, that one. That's
definitely a standalone.
Yeah, that could be an exception because that's a pretty contemporary looking appliance.
One thing that drives the sale of those is the matte white and matte black is fingerprintless.
Right.
So you don't see fingerprints on it. So it's
those are probably powder coated, right?
They are, exactly.
Yeah. It's a pretty durable finish. My one concern always with the black stainless is, you scratch it, it's very, very difficult to repair. Whereas
you basically can't repair it.
Yeah.
You can put something on it, but you'll always see it. And that's one thing about the Bosch paneling. You can't hardly scratch that Bosch black stainless.
It's pretty durable. That's nice.
Very, very durable. That's their big push in the industry, is that their black stainless is not like everybody else's, and it is more durable.
That's nice. Speaking of finishes, stainless steel, like you said, 75%, a real go-to. But there's a difference, right, between stainless steel. Like I've had some stainless steel refrigerators. If I look at them funny, they seem to scratch. And I've had other ones that are a lot more durable.
Well, you've got people like Sub-Zero. They buy these rolls of the most expensive stainless you can buy. And I found out a number of years ago, the General Electric company buys that same quality stainless on their doors.
Okay.
So that's one thing I'm a fan of. The competitive pieces, especially if you're looking at the Frigidaire brand, not beating it up, but the Frigidaire brand is the cheapest appliances you can buy. I try to stay away from them as much as I can because they don't put a lot of money in it. They put the money in their Electrolux brand. The Electrolux looks like the cafes and the KitchenAids of the world, stuff like that. But
gotcha.
Frigidaire, you can look at their stainless steel and it looks like you took a piece of sandpaper and just went all over it because it's really rough looking. It's cheap. And then they came out with fingerprintless stainless.
Yep.
And basically all that is stainless steel with a coating on it. And that coating doesn't last forever.
Right.
And but it's a different process. You got more and more companies coming out with printless stainless, which is what we have now in some of the GE lines. They've come out with really high grade stainless that they've done a certain process to, a new electrode process to make it more durable, but it's fingerprintless. But you got to think about it. The top selling premium refrigerator in the industry is Sub-Zero, and it is not fingerprintless.
Right. So
it's the wall of stainless steel.
If it could be done well, they would be doing it, is what you're saying.
I tell people all the time, I said, they come in our store and put their fingers all over everything saying, oh, I don't want this stainless and all. I said, well, why don't you do like you're going to do at home and just grab the handle?
Right.
And
true.
Grab the handle and open it. You're not putting your fingers everywhere, so you hardly ever clean. I've got a 48-inch Sub-Zero, and I probably clean the front of it once a month.
Right.
Because my knuckles might hit the edge of the stainless around the handle. Other than that, it stays perfectly clean.
Yeah. When
If
I
you
got
don't want the fingerprints, then panel it.
that's
Yeah,
right.
what you're seeing there in that picture is our showroom, and on the right hand side are the Sub-Zero twins, and then we have the Sub-Zero 42-inch that has the bottom drawer to it. It's the French door, and the 48-inch next to it is a flush inset white paneled refrigerator, and then to the left are the columns. That's where they start, and then over on the left in the brown wood cabinets. That's the columns. So you have a 30-inch freezer, 30-inch refrigerator column. Then it goes into what they call the IT series, which that's refrigerator on the top and 2 refrigerator drawers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. And then in the island, you'll see a set of drawers that are Sub-Zero drawers with the wood. And then right next to it is the ice maker with a wooden panel on it. So you can hide appliances today and not even know they're in your kitchen.
Yeah, I see that more and more. People want that because kitchens are more of showrooms and hanging out places and less of just plain cooking areas. I got to tell you I'll tell you a small story. We had a client in here. Oh, I don't know. It must be three years ago now. 2 or 3 years. We set up. They wanted appliances. We sent them up to you, and we were in the middle of their design process. They came into your showroom, saw this countertop, came back to us the following day, and said, "That's the one." They fell in love immediately. Unfortunately, they got the name wrong. They thought this was Calcutta Gold. So they came in, told us, "We saw something at Bobby Dollar. We love it. We want Calcutta Gold." We put that in the design. And the whole time going through it, that they were so sure they wanted it, we didn't even look at samples. They knew they wanted it. Got to their kitchen, built their whole kitchen, went to install the countertop. We went to template the countertops. And I went out with they had perimeter was one color, the island was another color, but I went out with 2 samples just to confirm, just one last time in the kitchen. And she looked at the Calcutta Gold and she said, "Well, that's ugly. What's that?" And I was like, "That's your countertop. You've been saying it for months. So you love that." She's like, "No, that's not what I saw at Bobby Dollar's place." And I was like, "Oh my God." We backed out, figured out, but it turned out it was this Annika.
Thank goodness for samples, huh?
Oh my God. We got that sorted out, but I learned never to trust that again. Now we always bust out the samples, but this is also one of my designers' absolute favorite. Not Brianna, she likes it, but Christy, our other designer, loves Annika. Yeah. I don't think there's a client walks in here she doesn't try and sell Annika to. But anyway, small aside there. It was kind of funny. But it's such a beautiful showroom. You got a lot of nice stuff in there that people come back with ideas.
We try to have settings that are found in the kitchen.
Yeah, and they're real pretty. Gives you lots of good ideas.
We do all through our store.
Yeah. So panel dishwashers we talked about. I think if you're, paneling a dishwasher is fairly low cost. It looks great, hides a dishwasher. I kind of think that's our go-to. Paneling a fridge costs a little bit more. It's more panels. It gets a little more expensive. And sometimes, like we said, fridges are so pretty sometimes these days you want to show them off.
Yeah.
But certainly paneling is a good way to go. We kind of talked about your hardware finishes here. There's your
that's the 4 cafe. That's the 4 cafe colors, and the brush bronze. The third one there is the one that comes on the cafe white, and then copper is sort of coming back. So you've got that copper look, and we haven't really had anybody that wanted the brush black because that's what you get on black stainless. Right. So it just really doesn't fit much of anything that I know of unless you put it on a stainless door, and that's not going to really be a true good color. Gotcha. And then the stainless knobs come on almost everything. So, but that's the color. That's the up and coming colors that the designers said that they thought was coming. This is the 4 colors that's supposed to be coming, but now that you have brass, you don't have brass in the 4 selections. So I think it kind of got away from them and became outdated before it became dated.
Yeah, I mean, we still see all these colors being used in cabinet hardware, but you're right. The brass, the satin brass, and those colors are getting more and more popular. This is a unique one, right? Bertazzoni.
Bertazzoni is one of the top Italian range companies. What you see on the left there is one of our ranges that we have in red. They have about 10 different colors. One of their most popular colors is yellow.
Really?
Yes.
That's
Their
Crazy.
number one seller outside of stainless
Wow.
is yellow. And I thought the red looks the best, but
Yeah.
yellow sells. On the right hand side is that's the Heritage range, which goes back to when they first started building ranges. They had to frame out the doors because there wasn't a lot of welding equipment at the time back 70, 80 years ago that they would use. So they screwed everything together. But today it's welded, but it still has that look. It has round knobs on it, almost like a golf ball size knob for the handle.
Okay.
Very unique. The thing about the Italians is they don't have blow torches for burners. They're not like the American companies that have, 20,000 BTUs all the way across their ranges. They're 15. Say like Wolf does, it has 20, 18, and 15.
Yeah.
This company they just take a standard gas cooktop format and mount it on top of their ranges. So they have one large burner, and then the rest of them are going to be medium and small burners because they don't cook like we do in America.
I was about to say, is that how I make the good Italian food?
Well, that's, they haven't Americanized the top of their range top.
I gotcha.
They just, if you notice at the bottom, this is a picture that we've had, that Jeff had, I guess, that he sent in. Where you see the door down below that is a storage drawer.
Yep.
And it's actually a flip down panel. That is gone today. They did Americanize their oven, and the oven door goes all the way down to the bottom now.
Okay.
So they did make it larger, but they're a good company. If I have to support an Italian company, Bertazzoni is the company to go with. And they also have a package like you buy a refrigerator range, you're going to get discounts on their dishwashers and their hoods. They're copying the Thermador discount program, but it's also a good price point. Some of their ranges are like their 36-inch ranges are less than $4,000.
Okay, but you want to be sure you understand you're going to cook a little differently on this.
Yeah, you're not going to have the big party with all the big temperatures going, low country boils and that type of thing. It's just not going to happen.
If your goal is to boil a pot of water as fast as possible, it might not be the range for you.
Yep.
Speaking of boiling water, we're big fans of induction. I have a gas cooktop. I've always loved gas. Tons of advantages. I feel like induction has a lot of the advantages of gas, but then you get that nice glass top that's easy to clean and low profile. Do you have some thoughts on induction?
We love induction. The live cooktop we have here is the Wolf induction, and it operates faster and just as accurate as a gas product would be.
Yeah.
I took this has been about 2 years ago when this cooktop series came out. I took 2 pots identically the same, put water level exactly the same in both, put one on my Wolf 20,000 BTU burner, and put the other pot on my induction burner. And the induction cooktop boiled water 1.5 minutes faster than the gas.
Wow.
So it's really accurate.
Just to be clear, 20,000, 22,000 BTUs, that's a lot of BTUs.
It is.
Yeah, like if you want a regular range, what are you probably getting? 18 maybe? 15 to 18?
Regular range is from 17 to 18.
Yeah.
And the Wolf is a 20, 18, 15, and then they have a little 9200. But if anybody can't use gas or doesn't have the capability of having gas at their home and don't want to put in a propane tank if they don't have it and they're in the county, the induction is the way to go, because you can be cooking something wide open and boiling. Somebody can call you on the phone. You can just touch the low button and it's off instantly to a low simmer.
Yeah. And
it's amazing how it works. And I carried it back in the 80s when people didn't. The GE company introduced one of the first induction cooktops in the U.S.
Yeah.
And it had a white Corningware glass top on it.
Yeah.
And it was like space age to people.
Yeah.
And I sold 1 out of 2 that I ordered, and I kept one on the shelf still in the box till about 10 years ago, and I threw it in the dumpster.
Oh, no.
I said this thing is never going to be used. Nobody's ever going to have it. All of a sudden, here come induction again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the prices really come down on induction, right? They used to be fairly expensive.
They come down probably 20 to 25%, and in some cases probably 30%. And
Yeah, they're
when you look at
comparable
it,
kind of to a
when you look at cost, I mean, you're talking the GE profile model is $1,800 right now on sale.
Yeah.
The Wolf model is about $2,700, but it was almost a $4,000 cooktop 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan. Then you got the whole advantage of, for people who don't understand induction, induction works, it's magnetic induction, right? So
Magnetic friction. Yeah.
so you have to use a stainless steel pot or pan or something with a magnetic bottom to it. But it works through that magnetic friction. It's not a burner. It doesn't, the burner doesn't get hot. So you can take the pan off and put your hand on the cooktop, and it might be slightly warm, but it's not going to burn you. The burner itself doesn't get hot. Only the pan itself gets hot.
Yeah, the transfer of the heat on the glass comes from the bottom of the pot getting hot and transferring that heat back onto the glass.
Yeah, and we even work with a company. They put little tiny feet on their pots, so it creates a little air gap, and you don't even get the heat transfer as much that way. But so if a pot boils over, you're boiling spaghetti, and your pot boils over, it doesn't burn onto the cooktop because the cooktop's not really getting hot. And it's obviously better for kids. If a kid comes by and turns on your cooktop accidentally and there's nothing on there, it won't get hot. It can't get hot unless there's a magnetic pot or pan over it.
When Chef George comes in and cooks here sometimes, and he uses the induction cooktop, if he's going to fry some stuff, he actually fried some bacon one time inside my showroom, which made my showroom smell real good. But what he did, he took a paper towel and rolled the paper towel out onto the induction cooktop, cooked on top of the paper towel. When he got through, he didn't have a mess. He just, the splatter was on the paper towel. He just rolled it up and threw it in the trash can. And my cooktop was clean.
Awesome.
That's cool, yeah.
I like that. That's awesome.
So it's an amazing product, and it's a growing part of the industry. I give it 10 years, and you will hardly ever find a regular
anything else
tight radiant cooktop. It won't be out there.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Have you ever heard of this company, Invisicook?
No, I haven't.
So we've got a display here in the showroom. It's an induction burner, but the idea is you mount the burner underneath your quartz.
Oh, I've seen that.
And then your quartz is now your cooktop. So you just put your pan on your countertop and you cook. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty new, so I don't encourage anyone to use it. It's being field tested, and but we've got a sample here in the showroom. It works great. We've tested it with quartz, corian, laminate. It does, and nothing. It works great.
I saw some brochures on that, but I didn't know the name of it. I didn't recognize that.
Pretty interesting. Like one of these days, I can imagine you have a whole kitchen where your whole island top could just be one big burner, and you just put pots and pans anywhere you want, and no one else gets burned because it's induction. I think it's got some real possibilities.
Thermador has something similar to that. They take their 36-inch cooktop, and besides about an inch band all the way around it, the entire cooktop is a surface.
So with induction, I love that.
And anywhere you move the pot, it follows it. It has little circles that it's almost like you're cooking on it with circles like you're used to seeing on a cooktop.
Right.
If you move it to the left, the circle moves to the left. You move it to the right, the circle moves to the right.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I think with induction is one giant cook surface. Makes a ton of sense. Okay, well, let's talk about real quickly. We're coming up on an hour here, Bobby. How are you for time? You doing okay?
I'm doing fine.
All right, we got.
I'm relaxed for the first time in 2 or 3 days. So we're good.
Get to breathe a little bit. Yeah, we're good. I'm glad we can provide it for you.
I'm okay.
So obviously, how you cook, how you clean, how you shop defines a little bit of what you want for appliances. Some people want double ovens are very, very popular. We get some people, they want a double oven, but then we ask them, well, do you bake a lot? And they say, we bake sometimes, not a lot. And I was like, well, maybe a double oven isn't the right thing. Maybe an oven microwave, like on this right picture here.
Yes.
The right thing. How do you like to think about that? Or what do you tell people when they come in your showroom?
Well, the double in my world, an oven is, we call them dry heat ovens.
Okay.
And that's the way we look at a single or a double. And we don't really feel like anybody needs 2 dry heat ovens because they're only going to use that second oven on a holiday at the most.
Right.
So it's very popular today to talk to someone about putting in a single oven, but then putting, like you're talking about, a microwave convection oven above it. If you were talking about GE branded product, Monogram, that's going to be called an Advanium oven. The Advanium oven is a microwave oven, a convection oven, and a speed cooking oven all in one.
Right.
And that gets you into a $2,500 price range. But the biggest selling new featured product, which I tell my customer, I said it's the best product that I've ever seen since I've been in the appliance business, and that's a steam convection oven.
Yeah.
Steam convection ovens are unbelievable. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And you can steam vegetables, steam any seafood you want to. So you can have shrimp one night and lobster the next, or whatever you want to have. You can turn around the next day and you can cook a beef tenderloin in it.
Mm-hmm.
You turn around the next day and cook cookies in it or cake. We've cooked up to a 14-pound turkey in the one we have here. I just wanted to test it and see how big a bird I could get in it. So a 14-pound turkey was the largest thing I could fit in it.
That's big.
But the dry heat oven, when you put stuff in it, it does just what I'm talking about. It sucks out the moisture in your food, or it boils it out. Like on a turkey, it will actually boil it out. And so that's why you had to have a deep roaster pan when you're cooking a turkey, is to catch all the juice.
Moisture, yep.
And going back, I know we're talking about the steam convection oven, but one of the features of the Wolf main convection oven is it has an auto roast feature. We cook a 28-pound turkey on a pastry tray.
Really?
And a 28-pound turkey that cooks 4.5 hours, we cook it in 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Nice.
Because all the juices stay in it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to the combination. You got the big oven that has the convection roast feature on it for cooking the big turkey. You can use the convection steam oven for steaming your vegetables. It doesn't take the nutrients out of it. It comes out, you take asparagus, you put it in, it's greener coming out than it was going in. And it just has a water tray on the top side. It's not plumbed.
Right.
And it's great for auto reheating. It's got a feature on the Wolf steam oven that's called auto reheat. And
I owned a countertop steam oven for a while, and it would replace my microwave. It was better at reheating leftovers than my microwave even.
That's what we push to. That's why the auto reheat button is used. That's why we're driving I'm selling a lot of $300 microwaves to go into pantries today because they're investing that money into that steam convection oven.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the steam convection. That's a game changer. I think you're right. I'm not a fan of anybody buying double ovens anymore. Yeah. Just
when people come to the Sub-Zero Wolf cooking event, we have people that are 100% locked into double ovens. It's pretty much 100% change to a convection oven, convection steam, and a single oven after George cooks in it.
Yeah, so I see the advantages. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of our go-to as well, if we can get people to understand that. I had a thought there for a second, and I think it just left my head. Maybe it'll come back to me. Then you've got we talked a little about double versus single. Tell me about the French door ovens versus your drop-down door ovens.
The French door oven has become very popular. The Blue Star company came out with it years ago, but they're more of a commercial type company, so they don't hit the residential market a lot. When GE came out with it, they were the first patented French door oven that's self-cleaning. Other brands are not self-cleaning. And one of the things that you've got with the French doors is good for ADA compliant, for handicap. No. Somebody you can open those doors up and you
can in your way.
Roll right up to it. If somebody's in a wheelchair, they can roll up to it, open the doors up, and they get their stuff out.
Yeah.
So it's very popular. It's the same oven that you would have in the letdown door. In that picture that you see, the French door right to the right of it is a single door. Those two products are the same product as far as the ovens. It's just the oven doors.
Just the door is different. Gotcha. So it's still a high quality oven. Like you said, it's
very
just a way of accessing it.
And they're beast. The doors are heavy.
Yeah.
And when you open up one, the other one opens up evenly with it. The hinge system on it is jointly joined between the two. So you don't have to open up one and then open up the other. You just grab one handle and both of them open up.
And they both pop open. Oh, that's
Yep.
nice. Oh, I like that.
It's nice.
Yeah. Range versus cooktop. So range is when your oven and your cooktop are all one. And then, of course, cooktop is just a cooktop. Pros and cons?
I'm a fan, especially getting older in life. I'm a fan of doing a range top or cooktop in wall ovens.
Yeah.
When we'll be rebuilding soon because we got our house up for sale with the boys gone. But I like, number one, a lot of people don't know the difference, but a cooktop in my industry is what fits down in the countertop. So that's the cooktop. A range top, as you see in this picture here, that's the top half of a pro range. So, so you got cooktop, range top, and then range. So they're different from each other. And what you're seeing, that's actually a picture of a Wolf range top that they put black knobs on. And that's a griddle in the middle. That is the most popular product we sell in the Sub-Zero Wolf showroom, is the 4-burner with the griddle.
Okay.
That is a pro griddle. And but somebody that's more budget minded, they would buy a cooktop and just have one large burner and 3 or 4 small burners.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's kind of starting out and their space is limited, they would be the customer that would buy the range.
Yeah.
They would get it all. And nowadays you can get on the cafe line, which is unique to the industry, you can get 6 burners on the top of a range. The most you can get is some of the regular GE products, as well as other brands that do 5 burners, but Cafe has got 6.
That's on a 30-inch. On a 30-inch.
That's a 30-inch range with 6 burners.
Wow.
And on top of that, now it's very popular to buy a 30-inch product to have double ovens. So in that picture, you're seeing an oven handle, but that could be a single oven or a double oven.
Yeah.
Depending
I wonder,
on
do we have a picture? I really like, and we don't have a picture here. I like the range with 2 ovens.
Yeah. You're going to use that top oven probably 75% of the time.
Yeah.
And that bottom oven, you'll use it on the holidays or for baking a bunch of cookies or something.
Yeah, I wish we had a good picture of that, but I do love that. It's got a little small top oven and then a medium-sized oven kind of underneath it. This could be that, you just can't see it. But
that's correct.
I do like, if you're going to do a range, I like that option a lot. Microwaves, we touched on a little bit. A lot of combo microwaves, so convection, micro, good choice. It's interesting that you're doing a lot of cheaper microwaves now for the pantry so that you can put in the more expensive combo ovens. I like that.
We have a lot of customers that I'm surprised at how many customers come in and say, you'll have some customers say we use the microwave a lot. And it's usually the customer that's got small kids and they're heating up things real quick for them. But you get someone that they're empty nesters going forward. They don't use a microwave hardly at all except for heating up a liquid.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I feel like for them, if the steam oven's even a better option than the microwave, if they can.
Yeah.
Oh, it's much better. And it's, the microwave oven can be, like I said a while ago, we put a lot of $300 microwaves in pantries. Still, again, the microwave drawer is very popular.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been a huge fan of the microwave drawer. I get the appeal, but to me, it just seems awkward.
It's different. You can say that, but if you're just like this picture that you're seeing on the right, you see a microwave up on the shelf.
Yeah.
Well, if the bottom part of that oven wasn't chopped off, that oven looks like a microwave drawer because it's only 15 inches tall and 24 inches wide or 30 inches wide. It looks about like that picture. And but when you prep something on the countertop and you just set it down inside that drawer and close it, the only thing that happens is somebody fills a cup up too high with liquid and they close that drawer, it's going to vibrate a little bit and they may have some spillover.
Bill, gotcha.
But as far as normal cooking, it's wide open. And I think right now we have probably, I would say we have anywhere from 15 to 20 houses that are putting in microwave drawers right now we got on order.
Yeah, we see quite a few of them. I guess I'm just Maybe I'm just getting too old and I don't like new things anymore. But this has always seemed a little like an awkward appliance to me. But they certainly are popular. And the one thing about a microwave in general, it's again from a designer's point of view, the microwave's always kind of a pain in the butt to design into a kitchen smoothly and cleanly. That's why I like the oven microwave. It builds it in real nicely together. I love that. But trying to put a microwave on a shelf, actually I like this built-in microwave. That's a GE.
That's a GE Advanium. That's a huge seller for ours.
That's the Mac Daddy right there. The gentleman we put this in for was over the moon about this thing.
That's next to a steam convection oven. That's one of the best products. I was fortunate enough it's been 20 years ago now, they invited 20 dealers in the United States to an event in Louisville. And they had us sit at tables, and for 8 hours, they told us not to eat breakfast to come. And for 8 hours, they fed us. And they brought us food from behind black curtains. And they would always bring us 2 of the same thing.
Uh-huh.
They would say, this is A, this is B, taste A, taste B. Tell us if there's any difference. You rate them. That was what we're supposed to do all day long. And we could not tell what was cooked in the Advanium oven and what was cooked in a regular oven 99% of the time. In the Advanium oven, there's 2 versions. One's a 120 volt version. It cooks 4 times faster than your oven.
Wow.
And then the 240 volt version cooks 8 times as fast as your oven.
Yeah.
And we use the example of crescent rolls. If you put crescent rolls in an oven, you got to preheat your oven 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they cook 14 to 17 minutes. The Dollar family eats crescent rolls, so I know exactly how long it takes. So you can put them in the Advanium oven, start to finish. It cooks in 11 minutes in the 115 volt, 120 volt version. They cook in 7 minutes in the 240 volt version because there's no preheating. And I could take them out, shake them up in a plastic bag, lay them out, and you wouldn't know which I cooked in the big oven and which I cooked in the Advanium.
Nice. Yeah.
It's got 100-something recipes loaded in it. It's a very
button and go.
It's a good product.
I like that. Yeah. What do you know about? What do you think about smart ovens? It seems to be more and more. You're getting that kind of technology where it's more like a microwave where you're like, you put your meal in, you push the button, and I've even seen like the steam oven I had, it would rotate between broil and then steam and then convection and cook that meal, perfectly for what it was designed for.
Well, it's very popular, and the manufacturers are building almost all their ovens that way. And the reason they're doing that is, as well as I do, is getting away from a control switch knob thermostat. It's going to a board, and you can program a board. All this stuff came from the microwave world years ago.
Yeah.
All the boards you see in the appliance industry was developed over the microwave board from years ago.
Yeah.
And that's where
they're really kind of blending. So they almost don't.
They're blending it all together. And on our new ovens, you just take your finger like you do on your iPhone. That's what they're copying, and basically is the iPhone formats.
Mm-hmm.
When you just scroll up and down on your phone, and you just scroll up and down on your oven pad.
Yeah.
And it's a push and go type situation. And people, I don't know what's going to change now with the economy in the situation it is now, but the whole thing is people were always on the go.
Right.
They were really fast in and out at night. Like me, I don't get home to 7:30 and 8 o'clock at night some nights, and I have to throw something together and go out and get something to eat. And in these big markets, people are the same way. They're just on the bustle and go all the time. And these new ovens are designed for you to throw something in, push a button, and it's going to beep when it's done.
Yeah.
And like I said, things may change, and I don't think it will, but I don't know if it'll change much.
I don't think that's going to change too.
No, people still don't want to cook a big meal.
Even if I'm at home all day, I don't want to spend any more time cooking than I have to. I'm happy to push a button and have it done.
Yeah.
I'll even like it if this is first world problem, but I'll put cookies in, and then I'll walk back to my office at home, and I'll be working, and then the timer goes off, cookies are ready. I would love it if I could just say, "Hey Alexa, turn off that oven for me."
Yeah,
I
right.
can't, I've gotten to the point where I'm too lazy to even walk over and turn off the oven and take my cookies out. But it's just because I'm working and I don't want to get up and do that. It'd be nice. Those kinds of things I think will continue to be.
You're in that world right now. You can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I don't have that technology in my own home, but when I update, I very well might. Let's switch to washers and dryers real quick. I'm going to speed this up a little bit, Bob, because we're running a little long.
Sure.
We're definitely, what we should do is probably have you back sometime and do a part 2. We can go a little more in depth on washers and dryers for people, but give me bare bones. What should people look for a washer dryer? What brands do you recommend? What would you tell people coming in?
Well, the trend went from top load to front load.
Yep.
And everybody got tired of the front load smelling so bad.
Yep.
So they're starting to trend away from the front loads back to top loads. And that's all coming from bacteria building up in these front load machines. But the GE company and the Speed Queen company, to just do a short thing, they're addressing that. So people don't have that bacteria build up anymore. The Speed Queen company uses steel on the inside of theirs, not plastic, so you don't build up that bacteria. And we're seeing a trend very much going from front loads back to top loads.
Yeah.
And as you got on the screen there, you're showing front loaded Speed Queens. That's their stack pair on the right, and there's individual pieces on the left. But this is our biggest selling line of laundry. In the nation right now, they're probably the biggest selling line of laundry.
The Speed Queen.
Speed Queen, because they're a commercial laundromat company that makes commercial quality products for the home. And instead of getting a 1-year warranty on a washing machine that's going to last 8 to 10 years, you're going to spend just a little bit more, and you're going to get a washing machine that's going to last 25 years.
Yeah.
We have the same story with Speed Queen as we do Sub-Zero.
Yeah. What are you looking at price-wise from a decent GE washer dryer versus like a Speed Queen or something?
Well, our average GE washing machine is $549. We sell washers as low as $399, but as everybody knows, they're junk. They're just going to tear up. But we have to have them for the marketplace for people that are on budget. So we have $399 machines. GE is a $549 machine. They go up to $899, and the Speed Queen starts at $899 and goes up to $1099.
Okay,
and,
not crazy more expensive.
No, if you buy the $1099 washer, it comes with a 7-year parts and labor warranty.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think I mentioned I need a new washer and dryer pretty darn soon. I think I've pretty much been sold on the Speed Queens.
That's what I would use.
Yeah. So for a few extra bucks more, that warranty and that lifespan makes a ton of sense. I think when I talk to people, the biggest complaint I hear these days about appliances is, you remember buying the old white refrigerators, fridge on bottom, little freezer on top. They seem to last forever. Today, appliances seem to last less and less and less. But
8 to 10 years is what the manufacturers develop it for. So
yeah, but
that's their design. That's their market is 8 to 10 years. You're going to replace it.
Yeah, but you got the Speed Queens and the Wolf Sub-Zeros of the world that last.
They don't have that mentality. They want it to last 20 to 25 years.
Yeah, which I think makes sense.
Yep.
You get what you pay for. That's how I feel.
That's true. That's like anything. But you got to understand. What I like is you need to understand what you're paying for. I'll pay for it if I understand it and I recognize the quality. Makes it worthwhile. I don't want to pay more just because. It's not a game. I'm going to run through these real quick, Bobby. But built-in coffee makers, kind of a specialty. But if coffee's your thing, these are pretty nice.
They're $3,500 to $4,000 costs. So, as you know, that we don't sell a lot of coffee makers.
Yeah, not when you can buy a $30 drip coffee maker
But if you go to Starbucks every day, it might be worth it to you.
Well, nowadays people like pour over. They like French press. There's, not everyone needs a coffee maker, but. We installed one of these not too long ago. They're also pretty nice. These I love, though, the beverage drawers. Nice addition for kids or for bars.
Sub-Zero is the biggest manufacturer of those. They have 24, 27, 30, and 36-inch units.
Yeah, I think
And they have some combinations, refrigerator and freezer.
Yeah, I think those are great. This is where if you do a counter depth fridge and you lose a little bit of storage, this is kind of how you get some of that storage back, right? And then move some of those snacks and drinks outside of the main kitchen area where people don't have to get in your way to go get a snack or a drink if you're in there cooking.
Yeah, I think those are good for like bar areas or like kids, because kids can easily grab and get their drink.
Ice makers. You sell a lot of ice makers? We see maybe 10, 15% of our clients here using them.
Yeah, that's about the run of it. It's about 10 to 15% of the sales.
Any advantage to other than volume, is there any advantage to a freestanding ice maker versus the built-in one that comes with your fridge?
They're totally different. The ones that you see here in the picture on the left, that's a clear ice machine.
Mm-hmm.
It takes out all the chemicals and stuff in the water. So it's nothing but what they call a pure ice machine. You take, do you have an ice maker like that?
I do not. No, I've got the old school bucket of ice in my fridge. Yeah.
All right, if you take the ice out of your refrigerator, put it in a glass, take an identical glass and put the ice out of a clear ice machine in it,
mm-hmm.
and take 2 Cokes and pour the Cokes in both of them evenly.
Yeah.
The one with the clear ice will not overflow.
Oh, no kidding. It won't bubble up.
Will not. The one with the ice maker out of your refrigerator, it'll foam up and spill over where the other one will not.
Because of the excess minerals and imperfections that are in that water.
Totally different. And we sell a lot of them.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah. And then, of course, you get more volume, I imagine, out of these than you do a standard fridge ice maker.
They have like the specialty ice, if you really love that like nugget ice, you can get that.
Yeah, sure. You get the chip ice and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You get the nugget. You can get a nugget ice. You can get a Opticon shaped ice. Yeah. You can get a square ice cube. All different manufacturers make different things.
Yeah. I'm a bourbon drinker, so I like the big square ice cubes.
The big square ice cubes, which is what we call liquor ice.
Okay, liquor ice. There you go. Fitting term. Yeah. So, nice. Wine coolers. Obviously, tons of different wine coolers. Now, from my understanding, there's basically 2 kinds of wine coolers. You got the cold plate type of these sort of beverage fridges, and then you've got the kind that work more like a regular fridge. Do I have that right? Because some of these things cost $3,000 and some of them cost $400.
Well, most of them, like Sub-Zero, is one of the biggest suppliers of wine units in the U.S. to consumers, especially those that are wine connoisseurs. Basically, the main way to explain these things is you've got a refrigeration type wine unit, like you mentioned, that's going to get to a certain temperature, whether you're going to put reds or whites. You've got, like the GE company makes nothing but a single zone unit. And then they use the rule, what they call a 20-20 rule of wine. You take the whites out and you chill it for 20 minutes, or you take the reds out and leave it out for 20 minutes. Gotcha. So they use that as what they call a 20-20 rule of wine. And then you have Sub-Zeros, which everything they make is dual zones. So you can have one section of it in whites, one section in reds, 2 different temperatures, the same unit. So those are the ones that cost a little bit more. But then you got companies like Danby or Azure, A-Z-U-R-E. They make dual zone units for less than $1,500. The dual zone Sub-Zero is $4,000.
Gotcha. Well, you're getting probably getting better temperature control, more accurate.
Oh yeah, the Sub-Zero, you can stack 3 of the Danbys on top of each other. They don't weigh what the Sub-Zero weighs.
Gotcha.
The thing's a beast, and it's all steel. It keeps the temperatures right, and it's amazing. It comes with a 12-year compressor warranty. Nice. 2 years parts and labor. The rest of them come with a 1-year warranty. So there's a lot of difference in what you buy. It comes back to what we were talking about earlier, the quality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And in this picture here, this is a kitchen we did not too long ago. Those are actually refrigerator drawers right there. So you
That's a good looking unit. It's got the tower in there.
Yeah, if you panel them, they turn. That just blends right in. I kind of like that. Well, Bobby, I feel like we could talk for hours about this. You're such a wealth of knowledge. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're super busy and sharing this with us. Any final thoughts for the people watching?
Well, I'd like to invite everyone to come to our showroom. If you haven't seen any of the latest products, we usually have most of all the new stuff available here. We have a great market from all of South Georgia and North Florida. We now cover from all the way from Perry, Georgia to St. George, which is a long drive between those two distances, but we cover about a 200-mile radius. We used to cover 25 miles. Now we're over 200-mile radius. We're running trucks every day to different areas, but there's no showroom in this area like our showroom. I can just guarantee that to someone. We've remodeled our showroom over and over again, and every time something comes out, I try to make it look as friendly as it does in your home, and we just try to do it right. And we're old school. We're going to shake your hand when you come in when we can, as long as we got gloves on. We can shake your hand when you got gloves on. But we just want to invite everybody to come see us. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 o'clock till 6, and on Saturdays we're open from 9 o'clock till 5. And right now we're taking appointments. For those that want to come in and spend 2 or 3 hours with us, we will take appointments. Okay. But we just like to, number one, say thank you for having us. It's an honor to be on here with y'all, and I hope to see y'all soon.
Yeah, thanks, Bobby. Yeah, it's always a pleasure working with you. I love seeing you around the Builders Association. You had us up. Unfortunately, I was ill at the time, but you had our staff up not too long ago. It was a great trip. If people want to take a look, bobbydollar.com. And if you'd like, we're going to send everybody this presentation. Here's a little video tour of Bobby's showroom as well if you want to take a sneak peek before you go up. But I highly recommend it, whether you need appliances right now or not. It's always a good idea to educate yourself. If you got questions, welcome to give us a call. Go see Bobby. And we're going to skip next week. We're not going to have a webinar next week, but we'll have some more webinars up real soon. Bobby, you take care. Try not to work too hard, man.
All right.
Brianna, I'll see you later.
All right. See ya. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good night.
Thanks.
Bye.